Mr. Ball here, talking about a tool that I use often, and that is Anchor, which is a podcasting platform, 100% free, and it has served the purpose for everything that I've needed it for. So it has been a really good resource for me, and figuring out ways to communicate. Um, do I feel like it gets, people are listening? I have no idea. But, when I have parents or students that are like, I didn't know anything about that. Well, yeah, you did, because I've emailed this out to you and you just chose not to listen. So, first and foremost, you have to create an account. Um, I also have the app downloaded on my phone. And in doing that, it allows you to record on either your phone or your computer. Um, and the nice thing about the Anchor program is that you're able to, like, if I'm doing a podcast, I can link however many different people that I want to my podcast. For example, while we were under quarantine, Mr. Jones and I did a podcast uh, talking about coding. I was at my house, he was at his house, and it worked pretty slick. I did some stuff last year with, Matt Butler and Emily Streb, from all of us being at different locations talking about, advice for underclassmen. Other uses that I can see, or how do I envision this maybe being useful in your classroom? One, you could use it to record lectures that students would then be able to access wherever from their cell phone. Weekly reminders for your classroom. It could also be a unique discussion tool. Kids could discuss topics, debate, whatever, record their debates, discussions, whatever, for use at a later time. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I don't believe there's a limitation on how many other participants you bring into a podcast, which is kind of neat. One thing, so when you log in, you've created your account. Again, as I said earlier, you can either record from your computer or your cell phone. You can also, if you were using it, I have microphones that I have used. You plug it into your USB, and it does improve the audio. I haven't ever really had problems with the audio that is produced through both recording on the computer or my cell phone. So once you create episodes, they're here and saved in the Anchor on the Anchor website. If I go down here to, for example, I made a podcast on scholarships. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of activity. But I guess if it's something that here I got 100 different listens, which is okay. If I click on the scholarships, I can view episode details, and what's nice is that you can give an explanation. You title the episode, you can give an explanation of what the episode's about. And then, if you go back to the dashboard, it gives you statistics about, your estimated audience size per podcast, how many total plays, and then gives you a nice little line graph here of podcast performance. And then there's a bar graph of my top episodes, and just breaks down some statistics about who is listening. One of the other things that I like about Anchor is it's extremely user-friendly in terms of editing. So, for example, I could have someone else record a voice message, and I could implement that into my podcast at a different time if we weren't able to link up and record the episode live. You're also able to take sound effects. Like for me, with my Husky cast this year, I've done, an intro of Thunderstruck by AC/DC, and then I exit with that as well. You have access to Spotify music recordings. So to me, you get a lot for free when it comes to Anchor. I hope that you got an idea for what the website can do. If you have questions about Anchor or podcasting, feel free to let me know.